went to rehab and everything had just completely come apart, and now basically there was no hope again for me. I just lost everything I learned in rehab. I just lost all the good work that I'd done, and now I'm back in the situation. So now I don't know what to do. So I went, I was at a friend's house, and I went out back on her porch, and I prayed. I said, Lord, I cannot believe I'm back here again. I cannot believe that this is what you wanted for me, and I just said, can you please help me get out of this situation? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help myself at this moment. I have no idea what to do. And I said, can you please help me get out of this situation? I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be here in this situation. So now I'm in a car, and this car ends up getting pulled over, right? The car that I'm in ends up getting pulled over. So, and now I know that these cops know I have warrants. I know all this and everything. So generally in this situation, a car gets pulled over. I've ran from cops, you know what I mean? I've driven away when cops are trying to pull me over. I did that twice. I took off on them. By the grace of God, I got away. I've gotten out of cars and I've run and I've gotten away like that. You know what I mean? Or else I've given a fake name. I've given just a little change up of my name, spelled differently, something like that. I've done something in every situation to not get caught. And somehow I always got away with most of it. You know what I mean? So now in this situation, now these cops pull us over, and I say to my friend, what am I supposed to do? Now, and this friend, he had just gotten out of jail, and we had a little bit of drugs and stuff that were with us and stuff, and he said, I don't know, but he don't want to get in trouble and everything, and I felt bad for him. So basically I grabbed everything. As soon as the cop came up, I told him my name, and I said I have a warrant, and he said step out of the car. So I grabbed all the drugs, everything that were in the car, and I brought them with me. So now the cops search me and everything. So now when this cop searches me, he does not see this inside jacket pocket that I have. And in this inside jacket pocket, I actually have 4 bags of stuff. It's not necessarily illegal to have them, but they're research chemicals, right? So I have 4 bags of them in my inside pocket. So now when the cop searches me, he does not see those bags. So he puts me in the back seat of the car. So now I've had this happen before where a cop didn't see something that was around my neck and put me in the back seat of the car, and I took everything out of the bag that I had. I shoved it all in the seat, and then I kept 1 bag of stuff and I put it in my mouth, So now my hands are cuffed behind my back, and I get these 4 bags out and I take them out and I put them on my lap, and somehow I get my head down, I put them all in my mouth, all 4 bags in my mouth. So now I'm thinking, like, I'm gonna eat these, I'm gonna get as high, so stinking high, and then I'm gonna get sent to a hospital, maybe a mental institution. Who knows what's going to happen from here. So, but that's my thought. They're in my mouth, I'm going to play this off and do that. And then I think to myself, this isn't who I want to be. This isn't what I want to do. So I take them out of my mouth, boom, and I shove them down in the seat, all 4 bags in the seat. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, this isn't what I want to do either. This isn't the person I want to be anymore, So I try to get the bags back out of the seat, and I can only find 2 of the bags, 2 of the 4 bags. So, and I take the 2 bags and I put them on my lap, and the cop's coming back over. Now they're looking around outside to see if I threw anything or something at this point. So the cop comes over the door, and I wave him over. I say, hey, and I point at my lap. So he comes over, what's that? I tell him there's 2 more bags in the seat. So now they search in the seat. They can't even find the 2 bags. You know what I mean? They think I'm lying to them and I put them in my butt or something. But why am I even going to tell you about these 2 bags? Like, it made no sense. So whatever. So now the cops, so now he's got the bags, and then they bring me to jail. And on the way to, when we're in jail, I tell the cop, or bring me to the police station. When we're there, I tell the cops, I say, listen, I need to go to jail. I tell them, I said, there's nothing left for me out here. I said, this life is not for me. I need to go to jail. I said, everything I own is in these 2 bags of stuff, and there's no hope for me out here. Please put me in jail, is what I said to them. Because with the bail reform, with everything the way it is, a lot of times you don't go to jail under these circumstances. No matter what the circumstances are now, a lot of times they can't even put you in jail if you want to. So, but because I said that, the guy said, oh yeah, you want to go to jail? So he made a phone call, and he got it set up, whatever. So now they're going to bring me to jail. So in doing this, now this other cop that was there with him at this moment, this other cop is being so rude to me. You know what I mean? He's like poking fun at me. He's like trying to put me down, and he's saying all this and just being ridiculously rude to me. And now I'm being nice. I gave you the drugs. I did everything, you know what I mean? Like I'm being super nice. I'm being super appropriate, you know what I mean? I'm not being rude at all. You know, why are you going to try to make me feel worse than I already feel? I'm already telling you I'm at my lowest point. All I own is a duffel bag full of clothes. I have nothing. I'm begging you to go to jail. Why are you going to try to make me feel worse? You know what I mean? So it didn't bother me that he was doing that to me. It's not like I was like, oh, boo-hoo me. No, but it bothered me that he was doing this for himself. You know what I mean? So I remember at this moment, for some reason, you know, I stood up. I'm handcuffed there. I stood up. I said, you know what? I said, I don't know why you're acting the way that you are right now. I said, but, you know, you're not hurting me at all, but you're hurting yourself. I said, because I'm telling you how low my life is, how bad my life is, and you're trying to make me feel worse. And I said, you know what? I said, if I was to walk in front of God and be at the pearly gates and be there, I said, God would welcome me with open arms. He would say, oh my God, you've arrived. He would give me a big hug, and he would be happy to see me because of the way I've lived my life, because of the way I've treated others and how I've tried to build other people up. He would be happy to see me. I said, could you say the same? And for some reason I said this to the cop, and then the cop like froze for a moment. He said, you know what? He said, you're right. He said, I'm sorry, you know, and he really said that to me, you know what I mean? He was sorry. And then the cops completely changed their tune. Like the one cop, he let me smoke a cigarette. Like they were just super like apologetic after that, and then just treated me good, like a human being, you know what I mean? There just was no reason for them to treat me like that. So now, from this point on, so now that happens, now I'm in the Herkimer jail. They bring me there because I'm going to be going to jail, but I still have to go in front of a judge, because in Herkimer, before they can put you in jail, you need to see a judge. So now they do everything virtually now because of COVID and everything. So I'm in the holding room in Herkimer jail. This all happened in Frankfurt, by the way. That was the jail that happened at. So now I'm in Herkimer jail. I'm in the holding room, and I'm just sitting there waiting to go in front of the judge. And all of a sudden, like, I cannot explain to you the voice. I cannot explain to you what it sounded like, anything. I just know that this happened. You know what I mean? Now, I hadn't used any drugs since like hours earlier. So this isn't like a result of like the drug use or something, like I hallucinate and something like that. This has nothing to do with that. I was in sound body and mind. You know, I've done drugs for a lot of my life. Nothing like this has ever happened before to me. And like I know what drugs do, you know what I mean, and I know what the effects of drugs are, and this was not an effect of a drug. This had nothing to do with the drug use at all. But I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, like I hear a voice, and it was God talking to me. And the things that I said, are you really talking to me right now? I said this out loud, you know, like if they have cameras obviously in that room. Like if you were to watch that video back, I would be very interested to know what this video looked like. But I said, are you really talking to me right now? Is this really happening? And then I said, are you going to talk to me all the time? And like I had like my eyes closed, I guess, and all I'm seeing is like all these colors and all this amazing stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful, like wow, it's just amazing. And then basically God told me a couple of things. He said that he was proud of me, and he told me that I was good. Everything would be provided for me, and I didn't need to worry about anything. Like, this is what God said to me. Everything will be provided for you. You don't need to worry about anything. You know, so to hear that from God, and then how do I not become this person that I've become? You know what I mean? Like to actually hear the voice of God, you know, speaking to you, took time out of his busy, you know, his ultimate, like I can't imagine how busy he is. You know, I don't know if he talks to multiple people at the same time possibly, or if he just at this moment took the time to speak to me directly. You know what I mean? Because something like everything that I did, like in like all the research, everything I've done since then, like it really makes sense that he would speak to me at this moment in time, because of, you know, I did all the right things as far as the cops, you know what I mean? I did everything right. And then I spoke up, you know, on his behalf to the cops, you know what I mean? And I actually referenced him in like a way that was like real and like it was appropriate, you know what I mean, for the way that I spoke. So it really makes sense that he would speak to me at this time, and it was the absolute turning point for my life, you know what I mean. And from this moment on, I've had perfect adherence, you know what I mean. I've done everything so well from this point on, so it really makes sense that this would happen like this, you know what I mean. But so now, and then the last thing that God said to me, which was kind of crazy, is he told me to try to go to the mental institution. And I said, really, the mental institution? And then I just said, okay. You know, so now they set a nominal bail at me, and now they're going to put me in jail. So now, God just told me to go to the mental institution. So I don't really know if that's possible or anything, but so I start acting crazy, you know, like the cops come in and they're going to bring me to jail, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. I take my hat off, my glass, I just keep them. I don't need them anymore anyway, you know, and then I'm like, I'm going to just kill myself, because anytime that I've ever thought of mental institution, I thought, you know, that if you're going to kill yourself, they're going to put you in a mental institution. You know what I mean? Like this is what I've learned, is that if you're going to harm yourself or harm someone else, then they can admit you into a mental institution. So this is the route that I'm trying to take now, is I'm going to kill myself, you know. Boo. So now when I get to Herkimer County Jail, I get there, and it just happens to be like a really good friend of mine that's a sergeant there at that time. So like, I feel really bad now because I don't want to make his life harder. I'm not trying to act like, I don't want to act ridiculous necessarily in front of him. You know what I mean? So now, instead of acting all crazy and everything, I just tried to tell him, I just said, listen, I'm going to kill myself, I said, and I don't want to do it here. I don't want to do it, so you have to deal with it all. You know what I mean? But I'm going to do it, so you need to send me to a mental institution so I can go. And what is going to happen is I'm going to go talk to them, and I'm going to convince them, and they're going to let me do it. This is the idea that I had. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm trying to say to him, and I'm pleading with him, and I'm telling him, you know, and he's telling me it's not that bad. These charges aren't even that bad. You've been through worse. You know what I mean? He's trying to explain all this to me, but I'm just gung-ho. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? Now, and he's like, you know, thinking like, wow, he must be really high, like something, like he doesn't understand why I'm acting like this. You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm being normal. I'm not acting crazy because it's him. You know what I mean? Or else I would have like went this big crazy route if it wasn't him. But being it was him, I felt bad. So that was the only thing I could come up with. You know what I mean? Was to say that. So I've tried to keep saying that. You need to send me a mental institution. I gotta go to a mental institution. You gotta send me there. You know, he's like, well, you know, it's at 2:30 in the morning. I can't do anything right now. He's like, well, give me a couple hours. You know, we'll see what happens. So I'm just all right. You know, so now I get myself put in a blue suit, they call them. You know what I mean? So it's just like a heavy like blanket suit, a one-piece suit, and you get nothing else in your room. You can't have blankets, you can't have anything, because now you're on suicide watch. And now they're going to post a guard right outside your room to watch you, to make sure you're not going to hurt yourself. So this is what I caused myself. So now this is where I'm at. So now I'm sitting there in the room, and it's like 7 o'clock the next morning. I mean, it is cold in this room. So I'm sitting there, I got like my head scrunched up in the thing and stuff, and the guy's yelling at me, don't cover up your face. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, why would you have me do this? You know what I mean? I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. Why would you make me do this? This is what I'm saying to him. And then like literally moments later, the guard comes over, he says, all right, bring him down to booking. And then they brought me down to booking, and they gave me clothes and everything, but they still had me on suicide watch, but they gave me all my clothes and stuff. And they did like a booking picture and everything like that. So now for the next 3 days, I had to sit with a guard watching me 24 hours a day. So what I realized, what I learned about this was, had I not done that, I would have just been in a cell by myself. And the whole time I would have been thinking like, wow, did that really happen? You know what I mean? Did God really talk to me? Is this really a true thing? You know what I mean? But I would have been sitting by myself wondering this. But now, instead of it being like that, now I have a guard that's posted with me for 24 hours a day that I can talk to, and I can try to see if I really have this new way about me. You know what I mean? If I really can give like these guards advice and try to help them the way that I helped that cop. You know what I mean? The things I said to that cop, can I give this worldly, godly advice now to these guards? You know, and I in fact did exactly that. You know what I mean? Like this one guard I met for the first time there, you know, and he's like, oh my God, I'm so glad I got put here. Usually I hate being put over here. He's like, but you helped me out so much. You know what I mean? So I did in fact have that moment now, you know, and so it was incredible moment in my life. You know what I mean? The truly changing point of my life to this point, you know, and since then, you know, truly everything has been provided for me. Like it really has been amazing. Like, so jail, you know, I ended up doing about 83 days in jail altogether. And then like I said, like I took treatment court, I've spoken about that and everything. But like how I got released. So I started reading the Bible in jail, and I started Bible in a day, you know, read a Bible in a year in a day, read the Bible in a year. Okay, and you read like one day, each day you read a couple verses, and then you can finish it in a year. So I did that plan, but I read more than one day at a time, you know. And so on the 83rd day, I had literally just finished reading it. Like I like rushed through the very end of it so I could read it before I went to court on this day, and that was the day I ended up getting out. But the way I got out wasn't necessarily normal, because I was supposed to get out on treatment court, but I got released from Herkimer jail because I pled the charges, and I got released from there, and because I took treatment court out of Little Falls jail, Little Falls court. Now they had but treatment court hadn't started yet. So the only thing that they had on me was just the $10 bail. That was it from that court. So I was able to bail myself out, that same day, for only $10. But it's just amazing that right when I finish reading the Bible, that's when I get out, and then the very first person like I meet when I get to jail there, like the very first day, it happened to be someone who's really, really big, in his beliefs and really big in his knowledge and everything. So I met him and I said to him, you must be the reason why I came here, what I mean, was to meet you and to learn from you. So, and he taught me so much, what I mean, and I'm so grateful for him. And I was trying to help him out a little bit, but I can't necessarily do that at this moment because of the treatment court that I'm on. I can't have contact with inmates that are in the jail, being on treatment court. But I was trying to help him out, to show him appreciation for everything. So, but that is truly the true story about how I spoke to God, how God spoke to me, and now my life is the way it is. You see my shirt says Yahweh, which is the Almighty. It's the God of Israel and everything. And everything I try to, I want to wear everything that shows my representation of God now. That's what I want to wear at all times. It's crazy. I want to show it off. You know what I mean? I want to show everyone, I want to scream it from the rooftops how much my faith is now, and I want to be as big a part of the church. Every single thing I get asked for at the church, I do it. I mean? Anytime I can give donations, anything I can do now, I'm a completely different person. I listen to all Christian music now. Everything is so changed in me, but it feels amazing. It feels absolutely incredible. And I will never go back to the person that I was. I know that to be a fact. I will never go away from this person that I am now, as far as being a member of the church. I will never not be that, I'll never not be this Christian that I've become. And I want to be the very, very, very best Christian that I can be in every way. You know what I mean? I want to serve God in every way. That's a prayer that I pray every day. I want to serve you. I want to be your number one servant. I want to do everything I can to represent you, to show the world, how great that you are, and to help others see what you can offer them and what they can do, if they can turn their lives to you. And that's what I want to do with my life now. So it feels amazing. Thank you for letting me share this story. I hope you enjoyed it. It's more than a story. It's a true story. It's fact, not fiction. It's 100% the truth. And, as in front of God, I cannot tell a lie, you know what I mean? Or else he's going to spite me. He'll hit me with lightning, something. But no, obviously he's not going to do that. But he knows I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? He knows that. I know I won't lie. So that's a true story, of exactly how that happened. And I love everyone. Please subscribe to the channel, share, like the videos. I will make better and better content as I go. I felt like this one felt pretty good when I made it. So I will get better with them, I promise. And I have so much cool stuff to share with you and tell you about the life and how God has saved me and brought me to this point in time in my life. And it does feel amazing. But I love you all. God bless you. Remember that as nice as it is to be important, it's infinitely more important to be nice. Have a blessed day. Thank you.